There's a threat in the world today. A threat to our way of living, a threat to our society, and maybe even a threat to our very existence. And what is this threat?
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
He is the one.
I am.
I am the ass.
He is.
And we are Black and White Sports.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
How am I not pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you're retired?
I mean, I want to see your face when you ask him this question and the way you're going to ask it. Look a man in the eye before you try to kill him or make up something.
He went through my soul.
And I'm not surprised.
That's right, folks. It is the show before Halloween, Wednesday Night Live, powered by First Financial Bank, 317-417-8582. Call John today for all your banking essentials, 317-417-8582. And the Rockstar Realtor, Mr. Shawn Nugent, buying or selling a home, call Shawn at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322. Damon, what's going on?
Execution is what we need to do this week when we are approaching this type of opponent, an adversary that we're familiar with. I think if we stick together and the game plan, I think we'll execute and we'll be just fine. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
You sound pretty damn good for Mike Tomlin, man.
What is that?
It's Christie's mask for Halloween, but it's missing the foam piece, so it's killing my eyes right now. There's no foam piece on the head to hold it off of my eyes, so it's just flopping into my eyes. So I literally look like, I don't know, wax. I don't know.
I think the people want to see you and not the creepy baby face.
But it's the Halloween show, man.
All right, we'll see how long that hot ass mask lasts.
Not long. Cutting into my eyes, I couldn't see. Woo.
Hello,
I
Mrs.
can see
Gilbert.
clearly now.
Good evening, Mrs. Gilbert.
What's going on, Mama? We have an exciting show for you with an exciting guest tonight. So the introduction video kind of will go along with our guest coming up later on. But before we get to that, we got a little bathroom scrolling action going on tonight. Damon?
Yeah, that was a pretty nice video. I mean, you ain't going to talk about the video. You're just going to just leave it out there. It's like, here you go. Don't explain. Don't tell the awesomeness that this young man, Mr. Elliot Cox, achieved. None of those things. Just here's a video and keep on moving. All right, that's fine.
Yes, for the moment, I will. No, that was Elliot Cox with Elliot Cox Racing. Driving for Dyslexia. Check him out, drivingfordyslexia.org. Elliot Cox Racing is awesome. He's a 13-year-old kid that's been racing for a while now in the karting scene.
He's 13?
Yeah, and now he's
a little 13.
Yeah, I know. Jasmine towers over him.
Eli would crush him.
But he's moving into the F4 series, which is on his way to IndyCar. It's the road to Indy. So, what's up, everybody out there in BWSPORTS1 world? I'm ready to talk some bathroom scrolling, Damon. Let's roll with it.
Sounds good to me. Oh, you know what to help?
If he had the notes up, sir.
That is correct. The creepy baby face threw him off.
It threw it off. Man, I can't. While you're getting into that, tomorrow, this man, that guy, and the crazy one from over at Checkers and Wreckers are heading to Daytona, Florida, baby. That's right, folks. We're going to leave bright and early in the morning, heading down for Speedway Indoor Karting Daytona's grand opening. That's right. Can't thank Andy and Sarah over there at Whiteland Racing and SIK enough for allowing us to come down there and have some fun with all of them. I can't wait, Damon.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And we might have some interesting extra treats for you guys, too.
I cannot wait.
So be close to your phones. Be close to your tablets. Be close to your television screen.
Because we may pop on live at any moment.
Hey, when you get this 3 of the 4 together, well, I can guess it's like 5 of us now. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? There's more than just the 4 horsemen. You know, but we're turned into like, you know what I mean? What was the
NWO?
Or something. You know what I mean? So I'm all about it. So, but whenever this 3 get together and we get together in somebody else's town, woo!
Here we come.
So Daytona, be ready for a little bit of Hoosier in your face.
Oh, yeah. All up in your face. Like the guy off Step Brothers. Pow! Surfing Friday. Tom Racker, I do not see the ocean surfing happening, but I can definitely see. I need to get one. I can definitely see the wave pool live video action streaming happening for
sure.
There you
go, bro.
The 1792, folks.
I was trying to give it to you through the screen. See, that's where you have a bottle and then you grab it.
And I grab it. It's like,
video.
I know.
All right, I tried.
Bathroom scrolling tonight, brought to you by mybookie.ag. Go to mybookie.ag, sign up, deposit your first deposit using promo code BWSPORTS1, and you'll get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Go to mybookie.ag now. Yes, bathroom scrolling.
No, just a former Colton Steeler passed away. That's all.
Oh,
it came across the thing.
Gotcha. So like it was breaking news a little bit.
A little bit for Steeler and Colts people. Gotcha. I mean, for Eagles people, unless he was a Steagle, you probably wouldn't get that info.
I don't know. The S-Bin does send a lot of notifications.
They do. All right. Okay. Here we go. Well, might as well get it out the way. LA is title town, baby. Apparently, This is the year of the LA.
Yes, it is.
Dodgers pulled out the MLB World Series championship last night in Arlington, which tickles me. But yeah, in Arlington, they win the series 4-2.
And then it was like a home field advantage for the 2 series lead. It was like from the championship, the conference championship to the World Series. It was all, I don't know. I don't get it either. I know. That's why you were laughing, right?
No, I was laughing because that's the only thing winning in that damn stadium. Yeah, Cowboy Joke won.
Watch out. They're coming. Tommy boy.
The Dodgers not without any tabloid conversation in the game. The Dodgers did pull it out. My issue with this, there, buddy. First, before we get into that, I think analytics in this particular situation did not fare well. But I'm going to go off the fact that he wasn't paying attention to the analytics either and just did a gut call. Because the analytics say that this man has got 1 strikeout against right-handed pitchers all year. Against left-handed pitchers, he's got 1 hit against left-hand pitchers. And with right-handed pitchers, he's got 1 strikeout.
I'm just going to say it. Why in the hell would you pull Snell out at that point?
Because he gave up. I mean, that was his second hit of the game.
Of the game. I know. The game.
The
Why?
game. And I posted this too. I said, we were sitting up here watching the game. Well, no, we were downstairs in the garage. We were watching the game in the garage. And it said, as soon as he took him out, I said, all right, that there is probably going to be the reason why they don't win the World Series. And what do you know? And it didn't wait. It didn't wait an inning. It was immediately.
It's like a light switch flipped, and it was a done deal. Done deal. That was probably the worst call I've ever seen in a World Series by a manager.
Yeah, that was really bad. And then it snowballed from there. You know what I mean? And that was the least. Apparently, that turned out to be the least of the World Series tabloid conversation. Mm-hmm. The second part of that would be, how did Mookie not get MVP?
There is no reason whatsoever that Mookie Betts should not have been the MVP of the World Series, period, point blank. There's your black and white for you.
We've seen pitchers pitch 2 games and win the MVP. Mm-hmm. This man completely orchestrated every single run that the Dodgers got in the World Series. Mm-hmm. How in the hell is he? I mean, I don't want to say it's a cultural issue in Major League Baseball. I don't want to put it out there. I don't want to say it. I don't want to open that box. But at what point would you not look at that? Because this guy, I don't even remember what he did. If you can't remember what he did, then how can you put him as the MVP? When we look back at this 2020 World Series, besides the COVID-19 issue, what are you going to remember? The awesomeness of Mookie Betts, not this. I don't even know who the hell he is.
I don't even remember. I mean, it was that bad that I do not remember, because you're only thinking that there should have been nobody else but Mookie getting that one this year. People can say Kershaw just because he broke that playoff bad streak or whatever. But I still don't see over Mookie. Not for what, like you said, not for what he did. Not for what he did for the whole series. Every game.
Trivia question for you. Name 5 current black players in the MLB. Not Dominican, not Haitian,
Mookie.
Not Puerto Rican. 5 Mookie. American black players.
Mookie, Hamilton, McCutchen. You should have said 3. I could have done it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
There you
can't
go.
Think right off the. You got me on the spot, man. You hit me with that spotlight right there. Woo-wee, look at that. It's beating.
It was hot. I mean, how about we do this? Is that better?
Well, yeah, sure. For right now, I'll let you roll with it. God, I'm blinded by the light now.
No, but yeah. Hornswoggle, you got robbed by your own teammate. That's ridiculous. I don't know how you know what? I'm hot. That's Walter Peyton not scoring the touchdown in the 85 championship level. Disgrace. All right.
Kind of agree there.
Now, to move on, but still stay within the debauchery of the Los Angeles Dodgers, when you're supposed to be in your success of winning your first championship since 1988, 32 freaking years ago. Shawn.
There's number 2.
But I mean, but really, and now you got to play. You see, and this was, I got a lot of questions behind this, bro. So we're watching the game, right? And the wife and I both say, why they take the redhead out? By the way, which looks like Rodney.
Kinda.
See, now you see it now, don't you?
Kinda, I do. I kind of do.
It's like his third uncle or something. But anyway, so we're like, what happened to him? You know, and then here we come to find out later on that you test positive for COVID in the game. Aren't you supposed to be testing these guys beforehand and know your results beforehand before they hit the field?
I don't know what the protocol is on all that, but I do know that it's very ironic how they all of a sudden just pulled somebody that got their results right then. I don't understand that. I think they had the results already and they just didn't release it maybe to the league yet or something. There was a little loophole, obviously, that allowed him to come and play for whatever,
I think it was like 5 innings.
Yeah. So
you play for 5 innings and you compromise every single person that is on that field.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did you do that, after they pulled you, after they won, here you come out of the locker room, the clubhouse, to celebrate with your team, at first with no mask.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're compromising these guys again. You're touching all on the trophy, passing it all around. So you infected about 100 people.
Well, I'll say this. For one, if he was, I don't know where the breakdown went with the testing and the results and the timing and all that, but that's regardless of that point right now. You should have had a mask on when you came back out. I don't disagree. What, you shouldn't have came back out? Okay, you do that when you finally win the World Series and all the stuff that you know that you've played for so long and this, that, and the other. It'd be like going to the NBA Finals for you. Whatever, Damon. Don't give me that shit. You'd want to do the same thing.
No, you won't do the same thing. You're not going to do that. You're not going to. You got pulled from the game.
Okay, but we're talking about baseball here. Weren't we talking about? Hold on. Weren't we talking about baseball about 2 months ago? The way they weren't handling anything properly. Okay, so what's going to change by this time? This is the last game of the season. Ain't nothing going to change. For one. For two, you've been around all this, your whole team, for how long now in a bubble, quote unquote, playing, and now you're all of a sudden infected. So did you really infect the whole team? Did somebody else infect it? I'm not taking away. I'm not saying necessarily it's the right thing to do to come back out to the field with or without a mask, regardless, because you got pulled from the game. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, whatever. What I'm saying is, at the moment, I'm going to want to do the same thing. I'm going to want to do the same thing. Okay? But again, we're talking about baseball, who has screwed up this whole system.
You the one said the NBA. You said NBA. You said NBA championship. If you did the NBA, no, I wouldn't. And for two, you would never even got to the field if you had that positive test.
I don't know. That's where I'm kind of a little standoffish on where the breakdown was in that timing. I don't understand that. I'm sure something will come out soon within the next day or two saying that it was already known by the organization, but the league did not know.
Well, if MLB is ripping his ass, then there obviously was an issue with the Dodgers.
Well, there's a lot of points, finger pointing going towards LA right now. So until I hear the whole story, I want to know it too. But until I hear it, I'm not going to say anything as far as did he know or did he not know. But it seems very, very coincidental how he didn't get pulled until the 5th or 6th inning.
Yeah, with all that was standing, if he didn't know, if they didn't break it down right, you still should not have been allowed to come back to the field. Period. I don't care what you've been saving for your whole life. Give a fuck. That's not my problem. I've been saving my whole life to stay the fuck alive.
And that's why you won't see him in the ocean.
No. It is proven that wild animals love dark meat.
Tom Racker's about to go off on CWTVO there. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, sir. I got to pick him up really early.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Rolling. We got a guest coming up. We got to keep it moving because that guest is extremely anxious to come on.
All right, we're good. So let's keep it moving. All right, so a $1.66 billion agreement of sale of the Utah Jazz is waiting for NBA board of directors or board of owners to approve the sale.
Who's buying it?
Some 40-year-old tech geek who made a company out of playing with video fucking games.
Yep. We should have jumped on that one a long time ago.
No. My mother said I should learn mathematics. Get off that damn game. You ain't going to get nowhere in life.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. Yep. Sometimes you listen to your parents. Sometimes you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Message.
Well, yeah. Apparently the young man has been a Utah Jazz fan. He's pretty much his whole life. And he's been somewhat involved with the organization for quite a long time. I think he's raised over $25 million for various charities and other philanthropy things that they've done together. So it seems to be a pretty even like thing going on between the Miller family, who've owned it for 30 years. And this guy, I guess they got some type of relationship. So it's kind of a good transition. So I feel that the board is probably just going to be like, okay, it's good to go, Stamp. Let's move.
Yep. All right. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Next up. So far, the NBA right now and David Silver have set a target date of December 22nd for the start of the next season. Which have put that right in time for the NBA does the Christmas Day games. So that puts them right in line to have those games. I think with such a short break and with those guys, especially those playoff teams in the bubble, there was a long, this is different, traveling, city to city, and you've been able to get back home and, see your families in your bed from time to time. But some of those guys are there for 3.5, 4 months. And to take them off and then to come right back in it where they haven't really had time to, soak in that home life a little bit. Probably not most of them, but I'm going to say the veterans who've established themselves with families and shit, not the young guys is still clubbing. They're ready to get the season started. But right. I feel that some of those guys aren't too eager to start right away. I know we've already heard a couple of voices out of the Lakers that say they probably wouldn't start right away. I could see them playing if they had the Christmas Day games. I could see them playing those games and then sitting down a little more, Right. But me personally, I don't really give a damn. I think it's a little different than normal resting players. What do they call it? Load management. I think it's a little different with this go around, so I'm not too upset with it. As long as we got NBA basketball, we might not have fans, but we'll have NBA basketball.
As long as you got something playing on the court so you can watch it, right?
Yeah, because right now we ain't got nothing, bro.
Not much at all.
Yeah.
As far as basketball, that is.
Like white night, like Wednesday, we have nothing. There's nothing on today.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for a minute.
All right, so last up, Khalid wins. Says he retires because his dad promised his mom that he wouldn't fight again after that. So he takes dude out second round, and then let's keep it moving.
And he literally did the move to put him out and submit him so he didn't hurt him in front of his family, is what he said to people. And I believe it because Khabib is a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude. I really think, unless his mother says go for it, he is done. Why not stop at 28 or 29-0 and nobody can touch you right now? The only thing you can do is move up a weight class and go for that title, and then maybe move up another weight class to go to that title. That's all you really got going for you. And like he said, if it's about the money, I can make money elsewhere. I've been doing that for a while now. So
I mean, you got endorsements now, dude. You that guy.
Right. He is on top of the mountain, according to John Jones. He's not, but Khabib's not doing lines of coke and whatever else John Jones is doing. So,
I have no issue with lines of coke.
Well, I mean, if you want to do it, if you want to do it, you want to do it. That's on you. But you get tested and you're in a fight game and athletes, that's not good.
I don't know if everybody's coking, then it's even, right?
Well, I guess that's true. Ask Michael Irvin. Ask the early 90s Cowboys teams.
3 championships. There, you got a good one, Sean. Leave me alone.
There's a reason you couldn't.
All right, last one up. Your guy, Scott Dixon, wins his 6th IndyCar championship.
Yep. Kudos to him. He's doing it, man. He keeps on rolling, and we'll see what happens in his future. Can I see him moving into definitely coaching with the team, maybe sticking with Ganassi? Yes. Could I see him owning a team potentially? Possibly. The possibility's there if he wants to. We'll see. But congratulations, Scott Dixon beats Newgarden out of the championship. And on that note, let's get a little station identification in here before we bring our guest in.
I'm going to go turn my potato soup on low.
He is going to turn his potato soup in, and we are going to quick commercial break. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Dan from Black and White Sports and BWSPORTS1.com. I'm here today to fill you in on a little banking advice. I don't know much, but I know somebody who does. Mr. John Wayne Buzzard at First Financial Bank. 317-417-8582. Call John for all your banking essentials. He's really good at banking. 317-417-8582. Call John today and tell him the boys from BWSPORTS1.com sent you. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dan over at BWSPORTS1.com and Black and White Sports. And I'm wondering if you're ready to buy or sell that home, now's the time, and I got just the person for you. Mr. Shawn Nugent, a.k.a. Rockstar Realtor himself. 317-503-8322. Put that home on the market. Get into your dream home with this man. Talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322, and make sure you tell him the boys over at BWSPORTS1.com sent you. That was timing, sir. That was timing. I saw you on the video or on the off screen sit down right towards the end. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to kill time. I don't have to play nothing else. I'm good. Well, without further ado, it is time to bring in this wonderful guest that we have tonight. He is, and I'm hoping I'm saying the name of it right, Ayers Elite Sports Vision. He is with them. He is a doctor there. I've seen this man at work at Whiteland Raceway Park because he put me to the test on some reaction timing, and I did beat the old man, the bionic man, and the younger Stevens. So without further ado, please welcome Dr. Joe LaPlaca. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. Damon, you need to take the hat off now so you guys can match. There
rocking
you go.
Rocking a good look. Fresh shave.
You know, I feel like it's going to head that way soon. Just not ready to give up on it yet.
You need to come on to the good side.
Not yet.
Mine started going back when I was 25, and I was like, nope, bye.
I got to at least my 30s.
You're lucky.
So, Dr. Joe, let's is what I've heard that you're called Dr. Joe, if that's okay, right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. I'm sure you get called worse at home sometimes like I do, but it's okay. I'm not going to go there. So, Joe, give us a little, a bio on you, your history, your upbringing. Where do you come from? What do you do? There you go. And talk about this. It's Aries, right? Aries Elite?
Aries. So like Aries, the god of war?
Gotcha. Aries Elite Sports Vision.
Yeah. You were close. That was good enough. So born in Chicago, raised in Wisconsin, and went to school in Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin, which is like the southern part of Wisconsin. And went to undergrad at Marquette University, which is in Milwaukee, and then went to optometry school at the Illinois College of Optometry. And met my wife in Chicago, and then she got an internship or like her externship at Terre Haute Federal Max Prison. And we did the long distance for a little bit, and then ultimately she got a job here in Indiana, and this is where we've been ever since.
Lucky you guys.
You're
in the crossroads of America, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Not as cold.
Yeah, not as cold.
Midwest born, Midwest raised. I mean, I wouldn't go somewhere warm. I am a warm-blooded, bearded man. I can't deal with the heat of Florida. And I love the Midwest. Love Indiana. Love Indianapolis. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better town to raise kids, to start a business. So, it's awesome.
That is true.
All right, well, tell us a little bit.
Sorry, go ahead. Yep. Go ahead, Damon.
I would say, well, tell us a little bit about Aries, your little thing you got going on here.
Yeah, so Aries Elite Sports Vision is a combination of traditional optometry, so going to the eye doctor, getting glasses, contact lenses, that type of stuff, but with a focus on athletes and their visual systems and how they're different. Most athletes have really good visual systems, and if they don't, they usually aren't the best athletes. And so usually the kids who progress to be really, really good have really, really good visual systems. And if there's any type of hindrance there, it can negatively affect how they play, how they process information. And my goal is to help those kids, to help professional athletes, to help anybody who's in that sports realm who's kind of underserved, become better, to see better, to process that information better, to make better decisions, to make better overall processing of that information and how that translates into their game. And that's done through correcting their visual system and then correcting how their brain actually functions and how fast it functions.
So interesting that you say, I know that you work with Elliot on the racing side, like for a driving athlete.
Yep.
What different types, or are they all similar to each individual sport? Like each individual athlete, do they all have their own little programs, or do each sport have their own little programs, or is there certain programs that kind of blanket all sports and then they individualize?
Right. So there's, in the macro, from like a big sense, the visual system is similar for everybody, right? It's the alignment of the eyes. It's how the lens in your eye actually focuses. So from far away to up close, then back to far. So if let's say you're driving like Elliot, checking your apex and then checking up close and then going back to your turn, that's important for him. But it's also important for other athletes. So in a large sense, there's stuff that overlaps, right? In the micro, like a offensive lineman, is going to be different than a wide receiver, right? He's going to be right here in this space. So his visual system needs to see things a little bit differently versus a wide receiver or a keeper or, you know, a midfielder. Like those types of things are a little bit different for sport, but also for position. But they all need to be fast. They all need to be able to process large amounts of information as fast as they can.
So working with different athletes from different sports genres, which sport do you think this would benefit the most when it comes to your visual being exactly the key that you need to succeed in that sport?
Mm-hmm. It's a great question. I think the early adopters of sports vision or sports vision training are race car driving, baseball, and soccer. I think they understand the importance of, if I'm going 220 miles an hour, I should probably make sure I can see everything and be able to process what's happening in front of me, right?
Might be a good thing.
Yeah. Like your life could literally depend on it. And with baseball, I think the hitters, more than pitchers, hitters are going to really benefit from stuff like this, because it takes 0.4 seconds from the pitcher to release the ball to it crossing the home plate, right? I mean, that 0.4 seconds, it takes 0.3 seconds to blink. That's why they say hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do. It's not because of the actual physical feat of it. It's the processing of the information. Like our brains and bodies can't do it at that speed. And so vision training comes into that because we work on that processing, or those like go, no go, like, do I make that? Do I swing, or do I hold off because it's outside the zone? Like improving those decision processes is really beneficial for hitters. Being able to see release point, being able to see those aspects of, is he pronating? Is he coming overhand? Is it a little bit off to the side, so I know it's a changeup or a curve? Those little things are super important for them. Mm-hmm. And so that can be the difference between hitting it or not.
Mm-hmm. So you said it takes 0.3 seconds to blink, and it takes 0.4 seconds from the pitcher to the mound or to the plate.
Yep.
Also, it takes 0.4 seconds to get a shot off in the game.
Right. So
it takes 0.2 seconds to swing a bat. So immediately you're 0.2 seconds off, right? And it takes 0.03 seconds for any visual information to process from your eyes through your brain to your muscle movement. So
okay, that was actually a follow-up question to that. It was how long it took to process.
Yeah, we're left with 0.1 seconds to make a decision, 0.17 seconds to make a decision as to whether I swing or whether I don't. And so that's the space that I'm working in, is how do I take it from 0.19 to 0.145, right? Like it seems like a really small number, but that number is gigantic in terms of processing information.
So in essence, it's sort of like your training, and I'm picturing a batter's mentality in this aspect right here. It seems like you're really slowing that motion down in your brain. The process is going quicker, but the movement looks slower to you. That way you could process it faster. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So imagine like a computer, right? If you have a bunch of stuff bogging it down, it's not going to run as fast as it can, or if it's not going to be as efficient as it can be. Our goal is to treat the brain as a supercomputer, which it is, and figure out how to improve the speed of that supercomputer, and figure out what do we need to do to improve that, through what type of methods, through what type of equipment, that type of thing, to make these things faster for them.
Okay.
Nice. So basically, how I see it is you're training people to be the Matrix.
Awesome.
I am Neo.
There you go. I like that. That's a good comparison.
Actually, I feel like I would be Morpheus probably in that scenario then, right? The teacher, not the student.
There you go. And you're hoping all your students like Elliot and other ones that you can throw out here if you'd like, because I know you guys, I've talked to Travis, and I know you guys have been working with other organizations, and you're partnered up with certain people. I would love to see in real lifetime, I guess, as far as, I want to say 2-3 years in my mind, but I'll come back to that question. So in 2-3 years from somebody starts it now to then, the progression. Now, how long, this is my question, how long does this process really does it take to really start to notice a difference?
It depends on the athlete. It depends on the dedication. It depends on the aggressiveness of how we do it. If we're doing it just once a week in office, cool, we can make some progress. If it's 2 times a week with the elite level athletes, great, we can make even faster progress. If we're doing a combination of at-home training where they're actively training their eye muscles, they're actively training their neurocognitive processing, all of that stuff through Aries Academy, then that's a whole other level that we can achieve, because I can't be there for all of it, but I can be there for the in-office type stuff. But the combination approach is what will ultimately work really, really well for most athletes. And I think that this is something that if we look into the future in 5 years, every single person who is serious about what they're doing is going to be doing this, because there's a certain capacity to your physical capabilities, right? We have not seen a capacity to the mental capabilities of a lot of these athletes yet. Mm-hmm. You look at Tom Brady and Drew Brees, they're not the best athletes. They're not. I mean, they're slow, they're older. Why are they so good still? Like, what about them is different? It's because they can see a play. They know exactly what's going to happen. They've rehearsed it in their mind 1,000 times, and they just have a capacity that's above everybody else. And I mean, if you were to put Patrick Mahomes up against Tom Brady, Mahomes would beat him in every single category, right? Except for maybe the mental capacity. And I think that's what we're going to look back and be like, why haven't I been doing this for 3 years, 5 years, all through college, right? Like, I work with the Butler athletes, Butler baseball, and they love it. I mean, they just can't get enough of it. They're like, this just makes so much sense. There's so much different cool stuff out there that it's different training than what they've done before in their lives. They've done, 1,000 repetitions of fielding drills, but they've never done virtual reality stuff or things that we use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me being a basketball dude, I wonder if these new millennial style athletes or these millennial style shooters are using this concept. Because, when you got that when you're shooting from range like that and you have that accuracy, a lot of guys have a depth perception issue where it's difficult to shoot from the corners or from the wings from those distances, depending on the background or the back scene of the backdrop is what I'm looking for with the arenas that they're in. I'm interested to see how many of those guys like Clay and Steph and Trae Young are actually using these type of techniques.
I know Steph is for sure, 100%. There's video of him doing some stuff a few years ago. Jarvis Landry, OBJ, like all of these guys are doing this stuff. It's just you don't really hear about it because they don't want you to know that that's how they're getting their edge, right? Like they don't want everybody to be doing this. They want it to be their secret, and they want to be the only ones who are doing this stuff and have it on lockdown. And why wouldn't they, right? I mean, you don't get to be the best by doing what everybody else is doing. You get to be the best by doing what everybody's not.
So I guess on a marketing standpoint, I'm thinking business-wise here, how hard is it to market this because it's not as known and you don't have the athletes that are using it really speaking out on it? because of that reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's a challenge for sure. It's a challenge I kind of really enjoy though, because it makes it that much sweeter when those things do happen, or when those athletes do come in, because they've heard of you through the other guy. Like, he's like, hey, you got to go see Dr. LaPlaca, right? Like, it's that grassroots feel of growth. But from a marketing standpoint, yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to educate people that this is something that exists, and it's something that if your 14-year-old kid is really serious about what they're doing, it's something you should probably look into. If they haven't had an eye exam in the last year, it's something you should look into, right? My exam is way different than a typical optometrist exam, and it takes an hour and a half. Like most optometry exams, it's 15 minutes tops. And mine takes an hour and a half because I'm looking at so much more than just what your static visual acuity is. And static visual acuity is how well do you see in perfect situations, right? You guys both have glasses on, so you've been to the optometrist before, or at least you know that you're struggling with myopia or presbyopia or whatever.
This some new shit for me, bro. Last 4 years, man. I've been seeing great, and then it was old, and then they don't work no more.
Yep. But so like that's true. Like it's one of those things where you don't realize that you're having a problem until you're having a problem. And a lot of these kids don't realize that they're having an issue because that's how their vision has always been, or there's been such a slight decrease in it. But what I look at is way different than just your typical optometry exam. And I think that part of it, as far as the education piece, is also a challenge, right? And from a marketing standpoint, like, that's a challenge. But I appreciate, guys like you putting me on the show and giving me a chance to talk about it, because that really makes all the difference. It's just that education piece of people understanding that this is something that they should be doing.
So let me ask you this. I'm sorry, David. I gotta ask this before I forget it, because this is a good one in my mind. So you mentioned, yes, we both have glasses. You mentioned that your tests are, go more in depth to many other things than just your normal optometry eye vision test that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. In your testing, you come back, you put somebody on training, in that training's progression, they're very good. They're mentally into it. They're sound in training. They're doing this, that, and the other. After a while, are these going to be needed? Because okay, I didn't know if potentially maybe that some of this training could kind of help your perfect vision, I guess, like you said.
Yeah. So unfortunately, your guys' prescriptions are more than likely because of aging, right? Like,
I don't have bifocals yet.
Okay.
I went all the way in.
Yet is the key word there.
Yep.
But it depends on the situation, right? Like, there's going to be some stuff that we can work on to work on their focusing system, if that's where a problem is. If they'd been prescribed previously just reading glasses because their focusing system isn't working as well, unfortunately, that's just a lazy way of dealing with that problem. Aries Academy would help with that problem. If they're 12, 13 years old, their accommodative system should be functioning really well, or their focusing system should. It's just we need to kind of fine tune some of that stuff and kind of wake it up a little bit. And if somebody's given them, okay, just wear plus 1.00 readers or cheaters, it's giving it a kind of a Band-Aid at that point, because they don't want to do the work of vision therapy or vision training. And it should be done. Like, that stuff should be done because they're 13 or 14 years old. Like, they need help, and there's stuff we can do there. If we're talking about just somebody who can't see far away and it's just purely their prescription, that we can't really, I can't be like, oh, we're going to definitely get rid of your glasses for you. Mm-hmm. It's based off of the optics. It's based off of how the light enters the eye through the cornea, through the lens, and then how it's focused onto the back of the eye. So it's axial length. It's how long the eyeball is. It's where that focal point falls, either in front of the eye, in front of the retina, or behind it. And then we just use different lenses to move it. But I mean, we clean that stuff up as good as we can as well, right? Like when you hear somebody say, oh, my vision's 20/20, good. That's good for most of the population. When you're an athlete, it's not good enough. Like it needs to be 20/15 or better if you really want to be serious about doing this stuff. And that's a tweak or something that I would do specifically, knowing that you're an athlete, knowing that you're Scott Dixon, or, you know, I mean, those types of things. We have to make sure that we're giving as much prescription as needed to clear them up to the best possible, not just good enough, because good enough isn't good enough.
So really the enormous question would be, for the average man, is this affordable?
Explain average.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain average. I mean, me average.
Okay.
Like if I was interested in having my daughter take a look into this, because my daughter wears glasses and contacts, and she's 15 and she's a sophomore at Carmel playing basketball. You know what I mean? I would wonder if that would be something beneficial to her. I mean, it would be something I would think about, but if it would be, you know, affordable, will always be an issue for, I'd say, the average person.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think eventually, I think it gets down to a point where a lot more optometrists are doing this. And then ultimately, I think it reduces price point. I don't think it's unaffordable by any means. I think that people are spending way more money on bats and batting practice. And like, I mean, there's some things that people spend a lot of money on that let's reallocate those funds to making my brain better, making my eyes better. That might be the problem versus, oh, I need a new glove. It's not the right fit. Probably not where your problem is if that's where we're at, right? So I think that, you know, there's a lot of studies out there that talk about how this can actually just help in school as well. I mean, a lot of kids now, their visual demands are so high compared to what you and I went through when we were going through school, right? Like most of it was on the school, like on the chalkboard, or we were goofing off and going to play sports, and like we weren't doing as much up close stuff. Now everything is on a tablet, everything is on their computer, everything is in this space. So there's just this huge demand on their visual systems. And I think if we can alleviate some of that and strengthen the visual systems, I think that's beneficial to all athletes in general. I think it helps with schoolwork. I think it helps with just overall health. I think in the long term, you know, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, other neurodegenerative diseases are going to show, hey, we should probably be focusing on working out our brains as if they're a muscle.
What about somebody with a cognitive disability? I mean, would something like this possibly help certain issues that person may have?
Depends. I think the jury's still out on that a little bit. I think there's some promising stuff saying, like with stroke victims and that type of stuff, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, things like that. I think that there's some benefit to doing it. I just don't know. Honestly, I don't know if the research is 100% there quite yet. I know that it's being done for sure. Okay.
Damon?
I'm just not as familiar or comfortable in that space, because those types of problems that you're talking about are real, like neurology type of space.
Well, and the reason I asked is because my son, he does have a cognitive disability, and I mean he does it. You know, he can tie a shoe. He's very high function, but there's certain aspects in life that, you know, he is a little, I would say, behind than a normal, you know, 20-year-old young man would. That's why I was asking, would something like this potentially have any help to certain issues? Now, obviously, I don't think anything would hurt it, but would something like this potentially help anything?
I think in that situation it could. Yeah, honestly, you know, there's a lot of research about ADHD and dyslexia and other types of issues that I think are underserved and undertreated. I think that, well, I don't want to say undertreated. I think that there are
treated inaccurately.
I think there's certain percentages of ADHD that are actually visual issues versus it being an actual ADHD. And the easy way is to just throw some meds at it and say, okay, you have ADHD. You're just a little bit rambunctious and you're not concentrating in school and you're not doing X, Y, or Z. Instead, maybe let's send them to the optometrist and see, hey, is this something that maybe we don't have to put our kids on drugs for because they're 11 years old and I probably don't want them on drugs. Maybe we can look at it a different way. And I think that there's a lot of benefit for a lot of kids to be working on some of that stuff. I mean, you brought up Elliot. Elliot has dyslexia. He has, his charity for Driving for Dyslexia, which is where we met. And I think that this has had a really good impact on him because we work on a lot of stuff that he would struggle with normally. We work on, Elliot hates it, but we work on PDBQ charts. We work on arrow orientation. We work on left-right orientation. So he has to use only right hand or only left hand, which messes with him. But he is so fast with it now. Like if he came in and somebody told me he had dyslexia, I'd be like, I don't see any of it, right? Because he's put in a year and a half plus of work and really done really good work. And I think you see that in his racing. I think he just makes great decisions. I think, it's stuff that just shows up.
Nice. Damon, do you have anything else for this wonderful doctor?
I'm good, man. I'm intrigued. Definitely. I never really thought of paying attention to your vision from a sport, like a sports science. You know what I mean? So I'm very intrigued about it. I like to look into a little bit more of it. I mean, I think it'll be great.
Well, you guys can go. Yeah, you can go to my website. It's www.ares, ARES, Elite Sports Vision, scrolling down on the bottom.com.
I did something right tonight, guys.
We got a kid.
And then, yeah, that's impressive. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. And then if you want to go check out my Instagram, you can just type in Ares Elite Sports Vision. It should pop up as well, which kind of gives you a little bit more of an insight into like what the training kind of looks like. It's just a lot of fun, cool stuff that's just a different take on how kids already train, but also some really new, exciting technology that's coming out.
I got some ideas to potentially work together in the future. Hopefully when the COVID deal is done and out of the way and everybody can really get back together and in a spot, we might be able to put something together for each other, and it'd be a good day.
I'd love it, man.
So, well, Doc, thank you again. Again, this has been Dr. Joe LaPaca at Ares Elite Sports Vision. Check him out, areselitesportsvision.com. Dr. Joe, thanks again for your time. It was a pleasure, and we look forward to spending more time with you again, sir.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. I mean, it's been awesome. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
No worries, bro. We appreciate
we'll get a hold of them crazy checkers and wreckers guys and get you on over at the the racing show here soon too.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Sir. Thanks,
All
man.
right, bye, guys. Yep.
Have a good one.
That was Dr. Joe LaPaca, folks. That was good. I liked that interview. Even though I had the two bald guys blaring that sunshine at me, it's okay. That helped my vision tonight, guys. It helped my vision.
Oh, that's crap. That was a crap.
I had to roll it. I had to roll it back into it. I had to roll.
I like it though. I like it. I mean, you worked it, you molded it, you kneaded it, and you brought it back to it.
You gotta meet it. It tastes so good when you meet it. Oh man, we both gotta go to bed. Either that or we're gonna be up forever.
I'm probably going for the ever.
Oh, don't pull an all-nighter, sir. Don't pull an all-nighter. You're pushing 50. You can't do that anymore. That's fine. That's fine. Real quick before the ones, do we have the ones thing tonight?
The one thought?
The one thought. Shit, I couldn't think of the name. You think of that real quick. I'll be right back because I am going to give you the lowdown rundown. Nothing? Okay, good. The rundown on the showdown. Sunday, starting your week off. Them crazy boys over there. The beard and the stash over there at Checkers and Wreckers. 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Mondays, check me and Rafael Esparza over at Bet Your Ass on Black and White Sports, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, Dynasty Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. Exclusive BWSPORTS1 redraft show, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7:30, we roll around with Taco Tuesday. As always, Wednesday, we're right here, Wednesday Night Live. Thursdays, catch us on Couch Talk. We'll have to come up with some certain things. I know the high school ball is starting up. AAU is in the thought pattern for next year. They're thinking of things, and that's about it.
We got college.
Maybe. We hope. Anyway, Saturdays, check out Super Kicking It with Steven. I'm sorry, not 7:30, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait, Damon. The next time I will see you, the next time I'm going to see you is going to be at the Indianapolis International Speedway. No,
it'll be at the airport.
It's at the Indy Airport, heading to Daytona International Speedway.
I do have one thought.
Let's hear it.
And it's not sharks love dark meat. It's not it. I forgot.
Oh, there it went. He is the one. I am the ass. This is Black and White Sports, powered by First Financial Bank, 317-417-8582. Call John for all your banking essentials and accessories. 317-417-8582. And the Rockstar Realtor, 317-503-8322. Shawn Nugent, buying or selling a home. Talk to Shawn at Talk to Tucker today. 317-503-8322. Don't ever forget our buddies over at Driving for Dyslexia. drivingfordyslexia.org. That was fun. I love the interview. And on that note, Damon, what do we do?
Well, we try to line our vision up with our goal of keeping Indy sporty.
Peace! Daytona!